Hey, hi there. Welcome. My name is Orzhel. I'm a broker owner of Realty Max. I present this video to you every month. Today is the July 7th, and I'm doing this because the newsletter is coming out and I want to kind of update you on the market as I do. I'm going to try to keep this video as short as possible. I have some people tell me that it's a little too long, and I know we are all strapped for time, so I'm going to try to bring the most important things that you need to know and maybe give you some ideas and thoughts and things like that. Anyway, again, my name is Orzhel. I'm a broker owner of Realty Max. Here you go, just in a second. And again, we're here in San Marcos, and this particular video is going to cover Discovery Hills. Okay, so I do a few different ones. This is very specific to the area because Discovery Hills is obviously different than San Leo Hills, than Santa Fe Hills, and surrounding areas. So anyway, let's talk about the market really quick. The market is still doing fairly well. Still buyers around, believe it or not. A lot of people can't believe people are willing to pay this much money for a house. But, well, they are. And I'll talk about that as well in a second. Ultimately, what I want to talk about is I'm going to touch on mortgage rates. I'm going to give you my perspective on things like this. We're going to talk about mortgage rates. I'm going to touch on local market. I want you to understand what's going on and what's likely going to happen. And then I'm going to move into discuss something that been coming up a lot, and that's rates and how that affects moving, because a lot of people are sitting on the fence and they really don't know what to do. Some think they're going to wait till rates come down. So I just want to kind of parse that out a little bit and give you a little more information. So hopefully, like I said, with 22 years experience, you'll have enough information to, well, I should say 22 years experience and hundreds of transactions, thousands of negotiations behind me. Hopefully I'll be able to share something that you can take and run with. Okay, so first of all, let's touch on the market itself. Market itself is, well, is doing, it's steady. It's good. Still getting multiple offers. A majority of properties. Depends on the price point, but the majority of properties are still getting multiple offers. I can tell you that's maybe out of 5 or 4. There's probably going to be only 2 that are solid that we end up working with, but definitely people are coming in trying to buy a house, and I don't blame them. I think you can't blame them. Inflation is here to stay. I don't think things are going to shift a lot unless there's some kind of a black swan event. Again, I don't have a crystal ball. I'm just looking at the information we have. I'm looking at historical information, and I'm just going to give you my perspective. And that's why I always tell you people, you can talk to as many agents you want. You really want to pick the one you trust, who doesn't really have a lot to sell you. Don't have anything to sell you, but just kind of gives you their information, and you can do whatever you like with it. So first of all, so my newsletter is out. Let's make sure I get this correctly. Screw this up. So my newsletter is out, as you can see right here. And here I hit on mortgage rates. Want to discuss that in detail. Want to tell you what I see in the future based on the data that's coming through from from the Fed and from other sources. I want to touch on local market overall. Then I want to talk about waiting to sell or waiting to move, because a lot of people have that in their brain. Also, I'm going to try to make this video shorter, and it's almost 3.5 minutes. So why don't we just go ahead and jump right into it. So as far as the mortgage rates go, they pulled back. They're somewhere in the mid to high 6s right now with a good credit score of 740. I am going to pitch this. I am a mortgage originator, so if you have a situation where you need to refinance, you're looking to buy another property, right? You want to keep this one, you want to buy another property, we have some resources. We have many different avenues to help you. Like I said, because we broker them out, we don't have to stick to a particular product. We'll give you a slew of product, and you can pick one that works best for you. Okay, so please keep that in mind. You have my number ready to do that. But ultimately, the rates have pulled back a little bit. They're below 7, 6.9, 6.8, 6.7. In fact, let me just throw this on the screen here real quick. So let's look at the mortgage rates right here. As you can see, the 30-year current rate is about 6.95, 15-year 6.25, and as you can see, we're down to about 6.8 or so, and now we popped up a little bit. So we're right under 7 as we were before. Not a lot of things have changed at all, and it is the situation. Like I said, This is going to be affected by many things, as you know, the election's coming, and ultimately the Fed controls the rates, and they're looking at inflation. Personally, where am I? Personally, I don't think this inflation is going anywhere. They can slow it down. They're not going to stop it. Everything's already up pricing wise, and that unless there's a black event happens, God forbid, war or something worse than that, I don't see things. I don't think them being able to really curb this at any significance, right? So they're going to try to reduce rates maybe next year, but I think all this is going to do is just going to spark more demand for things, for items, and it's only going to push things up. So I think they're going to really walk a really tight line because they really got themselves in trouble. And you know, it's just what it is. There's nothing they can do about it. You know, income has to go up, and when income goes up to support this, you know, I don't see how they're going to get it down. I just don't see it. I'm not an economist, obviously, but I just don't see it. I just don't see a way around it. So back to the market. The market is doing really well. We have a lot of buyers that are coming back. Most of the buyers who are buying here are buying usually from the north, meaning from San Francisco area, from Orange County, from LA. A lot of people are trying to escape the trash that's going on in those areas and moving here to possibly raise a family and just have maybe a better life. Although you've seen things have been shifting here. The homelessness is crazy here. So, you know, it seems like as we're south, everything seems to be flowing down this way. Most of the people who are selling because they're moving out of, you know, they're getting out of California, they're moving to Idaho, they're moving to Vegas, they're moving to Florida. There's other couple of spots that people are moving to, but most of the people just want to get out of this crazy situation. If you are a homeowner, also there's a question about Proposition 13. If you don't know yet, obviously the legislature needs more money if possible. And just so you understand, Proposition 13, it really curbs how much they can charge you for your property taxes. So people who bought 20, 30 years ago, they're paying property taxes based on that price that they pay for it. It's usually 1.5%. And Proposition 13 caps it at 2% per year increase. So, and they're thinking to gouge that out. I think if they do that, it's going to be horrible. I think a lot of people who are on a fixed income are really going to suffer a lot. I think you're going to see that's going to be a black event. I think that's going to cause a lot of people wanting to get out because they no longer can afford the property. I think last thing we want as far as politically goes, I don't want to talk politics, but I think because it's going to affect a lot of older people, and those people are the voters a lot of times. I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but we'll see. Only time will help. So with that, I want to jump on and look at some listings and the market. We talk about market trades, local market we touched. Like I said, the market is good. The buyers are still there. They're less. Our 72 in 72 system works great. In fact, you probably already saw that. We offer sell your home in one weekend with multiple offers for up to 15% more. And this is not some bullshit. It's real. We consistently do that. We have a very unique and strategic way of doing business. And we're able to create a market within a market and bring more buyers in together, create more activity, number one. Number two, more excitement and urgency for the buyers, for them to actually be able to bid up the price. If you want some information, feel free to reach out. Also, you can go to in72.com. You'll see it on top of the newsletter. And maybe you want to start there, that's fine. So what else? I want to quickly just talk about the waiting to sell. Okay, one thing you really need to understand, because I hear this from a lot of sellers. They're saying, well, I don't want to sell. We really need a bigger home. We need a smaller home. But ultimately, we don't want to give up our mortgage. Well, there's a couple of things you can do. Obviously, if you can afford to keep the property, keep the property. If you don't need any money, or if you have the money for the new one to down payment, great. But here's what happens. When the rates go down, think for yourself, what do you think is going to happen to demand? Is it going to go up? Are we going to have more buyers jumping in or less? My view on this, we're going to obviously have more buyers, more demand. Prices are probably going to get pushed up again. And now you're going to be in a position where you decide to sell the house. So let's say you decide to sell your house. In most cases, majority of people need money out of the house to be able to buy a new one. Means the new purchase is going to be contingent on them selling the property, right? So just think about it. Many people, much more people in the market to buy. Now, when the property goes in the market, you'll probably have more offers on the table. So now the seller has, let's say, 3 offers that are non-contingent, and now your offer comes in contingent, meaning you need to sell the property in order to buy one. Which one do you think the seller is going to accept? Is he going to accept the contingent offer from you, or is he going to try to accept offers as non-contingent and to have more certainty for them to close? I'm going to tell you 99% of the time they're going to accept the ones that are non-contingent and go with that. Okay, so you're going to be in a kind of bad shape. So my recommendation is always sit down with me. If you have a trusted advisor, you're more welcome to do that. But let's look at the numbers, because right now, if you buy now and sell now, you're going to get, yes, you're going to pay a higher interest rate. At the same time, you're taking a lot of money or equity that you built and you're transferring it to another property, right? So you're going to have a smaller loan anyway. And you're able at this point to possibly have somebody accept your contingent offer because maybe there's just less competition, right? But if you do this and you lock in, you're in the property and the rates do go down in a couple of years, because I think it's going to take a couple of years for them to go down, you have an opportunity, obviously, number one, to reduce your mortgage, adjust your pricing, etc. So this is a strategy I'm always recommending, because it's not because I want you to move, but really if you want to move and you think you're going to be better off in a more competitive market to buy, you're absolutely wrong. It's going to backfire on you. 99.9%. I'm not sure what I'm missing, but 99.9%, I guarantee you that's going to be tough. Like I said, I've been doing this for 22 years. I've seen all kinds of market, up markets, down markets, side markets. It doesn't matter. It just, facts are facts. You just can't throw it out. Okay, so I'm at 11 minutes. I'm going to try to move to the next point at this point. So if you are going to move, take a look. And it's interesting, the whole idea of, buying real estate. It's always a good time to buy. And now it's really clearly on display, because a lot of times, agents, National Association of Realtors, California Association of Realtors were saying, hey, it's always a good time to buy. And everybody thought it was a bunch of bullshit. But it's not. It really is always a good time to buy, because you're investing in real estate. Okay. However, what they didn't tell you is it's not always a good time to sell, because things happen. Things go up and down, etc. That's why I always recommend, in fact, with clients that we work with, we always recommend they have at least a 7-year time horizon to sell, okay? Because if they can't keep the property for 7 years, then they may get in a situation where market happen to drop down for a couple of years, etc., right? And they just can't move. So you want to work out the numbers, maybe that you can rent the property out, and at least cover the mortgage payments, or majority of it, while you have moved and you have somebody else taking care of that. So you're not pressured to sell when the market dips down. That's really the key advice I'm going to give you. Okay, what else I want to talk about? Let's talk about what's happening specifically in Discovery Hills. Okie dokie, so let's go really quickly through what's happening here as far as the market's concerned. Let me make myself a little smaller. Whoops, wrong thing. All right, so let me get myself out of the way. So as you can see, let me see if I can make this a little bigger real quick. Okay, so as you can see, let's talk about the actives. Looks like pheasant, 1115 pheasant has been on the market for about 11 days, 4.3, right under 1,800 square feet, asking price 1,180,000. I believe this one has a pool. There's one on Apple Wild, it's been in the market for, looks like just came on the market, 785 Apple Wild. Smaller house, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1116 square feet, 790 asking price, probably a great rental. So if you want to buy that, please connect with me. We'll see what we can do for you. Another one that's on the market, it's been on the market for a long time, as you can see, and I mentioned that listing is dead on arrival. You really never want to have the property in the market for more than, I don't know, in the current market, 6 days, 5 days. As you know, with our N72 system, everything happens during the weekend. And like I said, we only needed a few hours, like 3 hours total. Saturday and Sunday. Mondays, you go ahead and review multiple offers and choose the best one that works for you, so we can get it closed quickly. But this particular one, as you can see, has been on here for 76 days. Totally a long time. Way too long. There's one on Sonoma, looks like, that just came in the market, 5-bedroom, 3-bath. And this one is 2,000 square feet. 2026, and it is a 5 and 2.5. Sorry, and this is 920 is the asking price. Sparrow Court, also right next to Pheasant, has gone to market. 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1794 square feet. Price at $999. That's asking price. Let's talk about Shenandoah. Shenandoah is currently, looks like it's pending. 4.3, 4.5, 1746. 999,000 was the asking price, and it took 18 days for it. So I'm assuming there was a price reduction there. Maybe we'll see soon. This one here, I'll skip Valencia. Windridge, 895. You know where it's at. Larger, more luxurious homes there. 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 2687 square feet. 1,350,000, and looks like it dropped to 1,299,000 since it was sitting in the market. Nothing was happening. Again, time in the market is huge, and ultimately they closed at 1,312,000. Not too bad. Kestrel Drive on the market for 9 days. 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1688 square feet. Let's see, 899 was the asking price. It closed at 940, a bit of a premium. And the final is Peachtree, 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1746 square feet. Originally was priced at 1,100,000. Looks like the price was dropped to 1,075,000, and it closed at 1,075,000. 8 days in the market, closed on the 25th of June. Anyway, so this is pretty much what's happening there. I don't want to take too much time. I already kind of went over what I really wanted to. Let me just say it again. If you're looking to sell, you owe it to yourself to talk to me. Like I said, I have years and years of experience, but that's not really the important part. It's all important about your equity. If you really want to maximize the equity, we use a totally modern approach of doing things where we get your home ready. We only show it for, compared to everybody else, a very convenient 1.5 hours. Saturday, usually 1.5 hours. On Sunday, we keep it tight for a reason. We create a lot of buyer buzz. We enhance interest and also competitive nature of the buyers, and we create urgency. Okay, so if you want to have a 100% certainty that something will sell, that you're going to get a premium for your property, I'm talking about premium, significantly higher price than you can get with anyone else or using any other way. Okay, feel free to reach out, give me a call. You can find my information if you're looking at YouTube below. And I want to ask you a favor. If you find this helpful, feel free to share this video with your friends or someone that you think maybe will benefit from actually listening to it, someone that wants to sell. And, you know, if you have a comment, if you want to see something else, feel free to leave that. I'll do my best to respond to them. Okay. All right. Signing off. Orzhel, Realty Max, and have a wonderful, wonderful July. Bye-bye.